Oh, hi everyone. Let me put on my Carmex and then we're gonna talk. Oh, okay. Hi. It is currently 6 a.m. To be precise, it is 6:08. And I'm at my desk now. I just want to come on here and kind of like, first of all, for a little bit of context, recently I've honestly been thriving. And I don't really say that much, but honestly, recently I've been doing really well. And I've implemented a lot of really positive change into my life. It's the first ever time in my life where I'm meditating, and I have a lot of creative outlets for the first time in my life now. I'm painting, I'm writing every single day, I'm making sure I write down my thoughts every single day, or doodle, or do whatever. I'm listening to more music than ever. I'm not on my phone as much as I normally am, and I'm doing really well. And now we're in a stage where I'm having a fucking breakdown. And I don't want people to come at me for saying, oh, you're not having a breakdown, you don't know what breakdown means. I'm using that word. I don't mean to be insensitive with it, and I apologize if I am, but I'm saying that, like, I'm going through something right now because I'm very stressed. And the reason I'm very stressed is because I feel like giving up on my college course. And I've talked about this so fucking much. Like, live streams, videos where I'm like, yeah, I'm really struggling in my course right now, and I mean it. The reason I'm struggling in my course right now is because I've had such a hectic last year. 2020 was crazy. And I was so involved in so many different things in 2020. First of all, I was in the top of my class in every single unit. I got all distinctions last year, which is the highest you can get. And I'm pretty sure if I wasn't the top, I was within the top two in every single unit. I did really well last year in college. And then the start of online school, it fucked me over. I was like having bad conversations with lecturers, and then whenever like one of us was getting frustrated at each other, like I wasn't able to like correspond with them properly, or they to me, because we're doing it over an email and we can't be on Zoom all the time, or we can't be on Google. And then there was a full thing where for weeks on end I was trying to get onto Zoom classes and I wasn't being accepted onto Zoom classes, and I had to screenshot proof because no one believes that I was being put on fucking Zoom classes, and people were saying, oh, Adam is just spending all his time on YouTube, he doesn't want to be part of the class anymore, and here I am waiting to be a part of the class and I'm not getting accepted on. And then I had to like do messages to like the course coordinator and be like, why aren't I getting, and like still to this I'm just having so many problems even on that, right? And so on top of that, there's a big project that we're supposed to be doing. For the reason I'm talking about this, by the way, is because I have a piece of coursework up in front of me right now, and I'm going to get to that. There was a big project that we were supposed to hand in this year, and it was a film for, you were doing it for someone else, like a client. And my one was, my course actually asked me to be like a sponsor, not a sponsor, like their face or something like that, you know, where I was, you know, promoting the college, and I had no problem doing that because at this stage I had only ever had positive encounters with the college and the system and whatever. And the project was supposed to be me on a vlog going around the college showing how the college was adapting to COVID. And I was on board, and it was going to not only benefit them because they wanted me to promote the video then, and then so that was going to happen. I didn't really care about that retrospect, honestly. All I cared about was it was going to be a project for me, because not only would I be the presenter in it, I would also be editing it. And that was a big project, and it had me, TJ, Joni, Aoife, like all of my friends covered, as in they all had roles on it. And then it just fell through. And it didn't fall through as in, from my knowledge, COVID or anything like that. It fell through that we just didn't hear back. Like, it was, okay, and we just didn't hear anything back. And I get it, people are busy and whatever, but whenever I'm face-to-face with my lecturer, and I have to explain to her that it's literally not on me if people, you know, want to do a project up until a certain date, and then just, I can't hear back from them, I'm not getting returned phone calls, I'm not getting returned text messages, I'm in the dark. It's not on me then, and I understand the frustration from lecturers to me. However, I'm not responsible for a bunch of adults who, first of all, they're my superiors, literally, in this college. And so that was frustrating. And so not only was that a huge hassle, that fucked me over because it made TJ, Joni, Aoife, all these people who were supposed to be, that was supposed to be their big project as well because of me. It then made it look like I was being difficult and I didn't want to do it or whatever like that, because it always goes back to Adam's too busy, Adam's too whatever. So then I had to sort that out with them, which was never addressed even by the college. And so that happened, right? And again, I mean no disrespect to any of these people involved. Pull me into a classroom and show me this video. I'm saying it right here. I mean no disrespect. I'm honestly venting as in most students do on their Snapchat private story, and I look at my second channel like a Finsta. I look at my fucking, this channel as a private story, and I'm coming on here and I'm talking to the people who want to hear it. And I'm so beyond done with doing my course. I don't even think I care about the film industry anymore. And the reason for that is because I've lost my passion. And I've lost my passion through, in my opinion, actually I'm not going to say, I'm going to hold myself back on that, but all I'm going to say is last year, the start of last year, this time last year, I went to London for the BFI Academy. Honestly, hands down, one of the best experiences of my life, and I think if I didn't go to that, I would have dropped out of my course by now. The reason for it being so impactful in my life was, it was something I was accepted onto, great opportunity. Like 40 people, all around the UK, were brought to London, and we basically were given like a week, 2 weeks to make documentaries. And it was the most exciting, entertaining, scary, anxiety-filled, pushing us to like a good degree. Well, I was crying. I mean, to a good degree. I have videos of me crying there because I was so under pressure. But they were pushing you and you felt inspired. And it wasn't like, you know, here's a project and we're going to do it over, you know, 10 months. And with COVID, oh no, we'll extend it another 4 months. And after going to the BFI London Academy, I honestly was like, this is the industry for me. This is the job for me. This is exactly where I want to be. I want to be an editor. I want to be in, you know, the film industry. I want that. And I still have that inside of me because of BFI London. And I think I would have dropped out of my course by now if I didn't have that. And I have this, like, little book. I just got it today. And I wrote in it, and it was like a graph. And I did, starting my course, way up. I loved my course. I loved my lectures. I loved everything. We were getting on great. The course was great. And I mean, adapting to COVID is, like, it's very hard to do, and I'm not taking that away from it. I'm just speaking about my personal opinions on this. So starting my course in September 2019, I just came out of a really bad secondary school experience, way up. Really good all this year, right? And then just dipped down, you know, a little bit. And then BFI London, way up. And then whenever online classes started happening and I wasn't getting accepted onto calls and I was being made to look like the difficult one and, you know, not getting along with lecturers, in my opinion, or whatever like that, it dropped way down again. And I've honestly lost my want to, like, work towards this. And this is me being so dead honest right now with you. I'm so, like, I'm so over feeling like I'm giving so much to never get, like, I just feel like in everything I do, there's a stigma. And I hate to sound like that person, but anyone in my class who's watching this, if you are, hello, you know what I mean? It's, oh, Adam's doing that. Adam's a social media influencer. Adam's doing that. Adam's a YouTuber. Adam's doing that. Like, I think I've been told that by most adults that I've encountered in, you know, my college. And they mean no disrespect by it at all. But it is quite like, it's almost like I believe that the adults in my course think I hold myself to a higher standard, which I don't. I put myself on every project, I work on every project, and honestly, I've been keeping up to date working on these projects, doing a great ass job in my opinion, for coming up to a year now, and I'm at a point now where I don't want to do it, I don't care. I'm sitting in front of work now that I've been working on. First of all, the hand-in date for this is tomorrow, as in today, at 12 p.m. And apparently the lecturer was saying, like, if it's handed in, like, an hour before 12 p.m., like, he'll mark it in a different way. I was told this by someone in my class. I don't know how reliable this is. You don't know the lecture anyway. That he'll mark it in a different way because he's getting it on such short notice. But honestly, I'm confused. A-level, GCSE, and most BTEC courses in the north of Ireland, and I'm thinking the Republic too, and the UK, they've all been given a grade. A, B, distinction, pass, merit, whatever. For some reason, a film course, you go out and film, take pictures, take cast, crew. For some reason, we are still being expected to do, in my opinion, more than we did last year. And so if we're still being expected, this is like past my lectures, this is the examiners who I have a problem with. If the same level of work is expected off of us, how is the same quality of work? If we're still being made to make a short film we're going to make under not being allowed to leave our house, not being allowed to see more than one other person that's in our household, it's going to be a very different short film than what it would be without this. So I don't know why they're setting us up to affect our grade, rather than just being like, okay, you did so much work in first year, let's give you a grade based on that. If that happened, I would get a distinction this year throughout it all. Honestly, at this stage, I think I'm going to get a pass or maybe a fail in some units of my course, because I have no faith in myself anymore. I've lost my creativeness and motivation to work in this course because I feel like no matter how much energy you put into a course like this, we're in a pandemic. There's only so much you can give. You can't be going out and making the best short film ever. And not only that, us being trapped in our house for the past fucking year, on and off lockdowns here and there, of course our creativity is a bit shot right now. So even coming up with concepts, and then on top of that, like, almost more work again than what was, you know, set before. It's a bit bizarre in my opinion, and I'm looking at my friends who are doing A-levels, and they all don't have exams. Most of them don't even have to give in coursework. They're just literally getting grades based on work they've done whenever the climate was normal and their actual, like, working ability was shown. And I'm like, have I made a decision, or have I made the wrong decision? And normally in my life I don't go, you know, going back on things. I honestly think I might have made a mistake here. I hated my secondary school, worst experience, but you know what? Adam, you could have transferred to another school. Did I make the... And we didn't know the pandemic was going to happen. We didn't know we were going to get predicted grades, whatever, for A-levels. Did I make a mistake in going to a course that was going to be not affected at all in what's expected because of the pandemic, but your ability to do it would be affected? Like, did I make a mistake in doing that? And that's honestly what's been going over in my head whenever I'm doing this work, and it's so annoying because the thought is getting so loud in my head that I started this particular work I'm on right now. It's an essay about photos. I started this at 2 a.m. It is 6:23 a.m. I have such block in doing coursework because I'm so fed up with online school. I'm so fed up with inability to prove myself anymore. And because of that, I can't give my all in this course, so I don't even want to give anything. You know what I mean? I'm very much so all or nothing. I think my YouTube reflects that. I give my all on YouTube. Multiple videos a day. I'm always tuned in. I'm always ready. I fucking love it. I loved my course. I was giving it all. And now I'm not. And not only does it make me extremely sad because I'm looking back on that I'm a year into this course. So if I was to drop out of my course now, I've lost a year. But there's still so much to go. We're basically doing like however many units of work right now, which is like segments of work, with like 3 different teachers right now. And I thought we ended after that. We don't. We go on to 3 more teachers, I think, and a whole new set. And that's leading then from like February into summer. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm struggling. And it isn't a case of balancing, you know, things in my life or whatever. It's not that at all. And that's what I'm trying to, like, get across to other people and myself. It's not that at all. It's about the fact that I'm just, like, I'm, like, exhausted with this course. And so, the work that I'm doing right now is an essay about home. And you had to take photos and then base those photos into an essay and like work it or whatever. I submitted my first take on this 30th of November. And whenever I got my feedback on it, I was really upset. And I made a vlog. It was during Vlogmas, I think. It might have been like the first day of Vlogmas. Or I think I vlogged it or whatever. And in the vlog, I was really upset. And I was basically saying, like, you can critique me as a person, you can critique my YouTube channel, you can critique my looks, but whenever you critique my work in college, I take it very personally because, like, I don't know, I think working in film and stuff like that, I feel like is such a different, like, deeper part of me. And I honestly don't know how to explain it and why I think like that. And so I submitted an essay on the 30th of November, and it was a bunch of pictures of a park. And I was basically so your essay had to be about home and, you know, like explaining the photos. So I took a bunch of photos on a dark, misty day. And I was like, right, what storyline can I come up for this? So I did an essay basically saying how, for me, lockdown has been definitely hard, but it has been for everyone. And at the start of it, back in like April, we were allowed exercise time and we could go outside and we could, you know, do all these different things for once a day. So for me, that one time a day was like the escape and, you know, seeing nature and seeing different sights and smells and touches and experiences and saying hi to a stranger, walking my dog or seeing someone else's dog being walked. Or it was that one time where I felt like it was an escape. And that's not like depressing to say, that's literally how it was for every single person. We were literally locked inside 4 walls and one time. So that was the experience. And so my essay was basically saying about how I went to the park, and the park is split into like different sections. The park's here. I vlogged in this park, so if you've seen them vlogs, you know. And like on one side of it is a bunch of houses, and then on the other side is town, and it's separated by like grass area. So I said in this essay how I would feel quite trapped because there was a travel ban that you couldn't go a certain distance away from your house. So the distance was within the park, but not within the town. So I felt trapped because I was going into the park and I was enjoying the park, but I wasn't allowed to leave the park, and I could see the town in the distance, but I couldn't go into it. So my essay was basically saying how, you know, we're all in this together. This was my experience. I was in the park. I was enjoying being in the park, but I felt quite trapped in because, you know, the kind of way you are with your house, you know, the four walls, the four of the grass area was, you know, keeping you in, but you could see the town, but you couldn't go to it. And so, one of my favorite things about the arts is everyone has different opinions. My teacher, I won't say he necessarily didn't like it. However, he basically was concerned about my mental health. And all respect, thank you so much. I appreciated it. But that upset me because I think I put so much into creating a storyline and creating, you know, the walls, and I couldn't go outside it. And I put so much into, like, you know, being trapped inside your house was also the metaphor for being trapped inside the garden. And because I love doing English and creative, then I was like, should I have done my A-level English lit? And then whenever, you know, I got feedback and it was kind of just like, you know, are you okay? I appreciated it. I honestly did. This is not me coming for the lecture. It just kind of made me sad because it was like, damn, I put so, like, this was the most amount of effort I put into, like, coming up with a theme and stuff in a long time. And I just felt like I lost all my confidence in that moment in my work because I was like, damn, like, this was my storyline that I thought I had, you know, like, you know, feeling trapped. And in the images, I made them very, like, cool tone, which if you don't know what that means, it's making the image more like blue to reflect sadness. And I put so much into the imagery because I love, as a visual person, imagery in movies, in movie posters, in photos, in everything. And it was one of my favorite things in Moving Image Arts in GCSE, which was the exam I did a couple of years ago, was imagery. And so in BFI London, I proposed this exact same, you know, like, idea of, you know, cool tones for, like, sadness, whatever, like that, in whatever I was doing. And they loved it. And then whenever, obviously different opinions and thing. And so whenever I came back and, you know, it was kind of like, are you okay? I just, and, like, is your mental health okay? Like, do you want to talk about it? It was just, it was kind of like in that moment, I felt like I didn't want to, like, open up creatively anymore because I was like, damn, not everyone's gonna see stuff like the way I see it, or, like, you know, like, I wrote this and I was so confident and proud with it. Sure, there was, like, grammatical errors and, like, you know, it wasn't the most tidied work, but, like, I felt I made a good point with it, and I felt like I had imagery and I had, like, a storyline, and I know it wasn't that deep, the comment to me, but it just kind of was like, it was like that moment. I was like, oh my god. Like, you know what? I think because I had poured so much into it, I was just fed up, and I was like, oh my god. Like, I thought I did something with the imagery. Obviously, it fell flat, and that happens sometimes, but it just, like, it really disappointed me. And so, revisiting this work now, and I went out and took new photos today of the same park and the same idea, but I'm just, like, I'm rewriting the essay now about the exact same thing, but, like, to be happy. You know what I mean? Like, no fucking imagery. I'm like, so my initial one was basically an essay saying how, you know, I felt very sad and isolated and trapped in, and going outside was kind of reminding me of that. In my new essay, I'm like, going outside was the best thing. I grew an appreciation for the outdoors and nature. It made me feel very open and, like, you know what I mean? I'm doing a completely different thing now, and I don't like it. I hate it. Quite frankly, I actually hate it. And so, I just feel like I'm so fed up with this course. I'm like, I did, like, a bunch of notes in my book today, and it was just, like, my thoughts on, like, the course and, like, where I'm at right now. And it was like, I'm so good in my life right now. Like, I'm so happy, and I think I'm, like, where I'm supposed to be, and I've never been better, and I genuinely mean that. And I think the recent, like, self-discovery, honestly, like, I'm reading books, I'm writing, I feel more in tune with myself than I ever have, and it's just like that one thing that's weighing me down is this college and this course. And I honestly just feel like quite drowned in the course. Like, there's obviously like a lot expected, and like, so I have to have this in by 12, right? And so I also need to edit a project for tomorrow, and I'm the sole editor on it. It's a group project, but I'm the sole editor, and it's a big task. And like, whenever people are like speaking for you and like, yeah, we'll have it done by this date, I'm like we went out and filmed it, but I'm the editor. Like, you can't speak and say that it's going to be done on this date if you haven't ran it past me and you haven't. And so whenever I was talking to my lecturer about this particular piece, like, she was like, oh, so we'll have it done for this date, and I was like, no, we won't. Like, I'm the editor on this. Like, I can work on it now. That's when I said, I was like, we can get it done for Thursday. And that was a couple days ago for thing. It's currently, is it Wednesday? It's currently Wednesday. I've literally not made a dent in that because I've been doing other coursework for the course. And it's taken me so long to do the coursework because I don't understand what we're exactly supposed to be doing, because I'm not face-to-face with lectures, and the argument of going on Zoom is not working. So I just wanted to come on here, honestly, and like, these are my raw feelings whenever I'm going through something, and I'm going through it right now. I think it feels so belittling to myself, my own creative ability, that I'm currently writing an essay on something I don't even believe in. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like summing this course up for me. And it's like, I'm just so focused on the fact that I'm doing so well. And I can genuinely say that. And it's like, all things considered, I think if I didn't have all the pressure of this, like, I'd be fucking unstoppable, you know what I mean? And like, today I didn't film any YouTube videos, I didn't do anything, because I was doing all this work. And I'm like, for what? You know what I mean? Like, we strive in a course like this to hopefully end up in a job in the creative space at the end of it, in any of the arts. And thankfully, luckily, I don't know how I fucking managed it, but I have it already. And so I'm working towards that goal that I already have. And I'm going through all this in the process of it, and it's like, you know what I mean? And I think, like, the more I'm coming, like, within myself, oh, I phrased that horribly, but the more I'm, like, realizing stuff, the more I'm like, I got my qualifications for GCSE, which was the exams we did a couple years ago, and it was the most hyped up exams ever. You know, these are the ones that decide your future. I forget what grades I got because we don't look at them. You don't have to look at them. I've never had to, even applying for jobs, whenever I was applying for, like, jobs in retail, I didn't have to give them. They didn't want them. And I'm like, this is the exact same thing. And so that's where I'm at right now. And I was like, you know what? I am going to come on here and film whenever I'm, like, going through something like this, because I talk about it a lot in live streams. And I never want to. I always encourage education. I always encourage, you know, doing that. And so whenever I'm, like, saying on my live streams, you know, I'm struggling and I want to drop out and like this, I kind of was like, whenever I was going through this, and I was like, fuck's sake. I was like, you know what? I am going to film this and I'm going to talk and I'm going to say my opinions and thoughts right now because it'll give a little bit more context to like what I'm saying in those moments. And keep in mind, I'm literally like just scraping the surface here of like things I could say. I don't know. I'm like, I think in putting this video out there, I just, even if you've watched this, like, I just want to know what your advice is. And like, I've asked my family for advice. I've asked my extended family for advice. I've asked my friends online for advice. I've asked my friends from the course advice. And honestly, the people that give me the best advice is the fucking besties. And it seems weird saying like besties in such a serious tone like that, but I genuinely mean it. You. So, if you have any opinions, not even advice, just like thoughts on this, I'd love to hear them. If you're going through something similar with maybe like working from home or online college or Zoom classes or maybe like not understanding, you know, your course, like, it would so help me out, you know what I mean, to like hear that. So, and maybe other people. That's Monty starting to wake up because it is about to be 7 a.m. and this is when he wakes up. So, I love you. Thank you for watching. Again, more of like a somber tone in this video, but again, I just need to get this work done. So, I'll see you. And I genuinely, if you watch this, if you didn't watch this, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you. Bye-bye.